No, how do I get rid of
God
it?
damn, we're live. Fucking finally. Jesus Christ. Welcome to fucking episode 38 of the
Everyone's so
Deformed
angry.
Technical fucking Difficulties podcast. Holy shit.
Shit off me, JT.
We're finally live. It's going to be like an hour-long podcast because we spent 23 minutes dicking around trying to get my mic to work. And now fucking, anyway.
Drawing dicks on people's faces.
I hope you guys enjoy video games. We're here to talk about fucking video
love video
games.
games.
And we're all here.
So much.
We're all here to talk about them. I'm so goddamn frustrated. This is fucking unbelievable. So here's the story. Like, we had this new fucking program set up, and it was really good. It works really well. And for whatever reason, Brandon's mic didn't fucking work. And so we're sitting there fiddling around with that for 10 minutes, and then we're like, fuck it, let's just go to goddamn back to Google Plus, and then my mic breaks for fucking 15 minutes, and fuck it, video games. Let's talk about them. We got Brandon, Jeff, JT, Z Huge, and Gabe is coming in and out. Video games, you guys. What's going on with them?
Hey.
NPD Day.
It is NPD Day, and that's why Z Huge is here. Sorry, I'm not going to end my rope with Google Plus right now. So anyway, Z Huge is here. Z, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me on again.
All right, and I'll give everybody a proper introduction. Tonight we have Brandon, who I blame for this entire situation.
I'll accept this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But next week we will hopefully, actually this weekend when we're streaming some Bethesda stuff. Hopefully we'll have everything working on our new software. And then we have JT. What's up, buddy?
Today is a good day. I found new toys to play with on Google Hangouts. I can draw on people. I'm happy.
Bring that cigarette back.
Fuck you.
You're going to be chain smoking through the duration of the podcast.
Yeah, I will. And then and we have Jeff is joining us. JT and Jeff are greatly benefiting from our our pushback time to 9 o'clock.
We sure are. I feel amazing.
Yep.
Do you? I mean, honestly, you look amazing. You look like you've got a twinkle in your eye or a glow in your cheeks. You actually do have a glow in your cheeks. Are you okay?
He's just stoned.
Are you stoned? That'd be kind of cool if you were. I'm not going to judge you. It's all right. And who else do we have? Is Gabe in here? I can't fucking tell anymore. Gabe is not here. Okay.
We
and
need
Steve,
the Benz.
Steve, we need the Benz, man. And
God,
Steve,
he's for hire now, right? Like
he is actually. He's looking for a job. And
we've had Michael Huber on, we've had Shinobi on. We're there. We've made it.
I feel like we've made it. You know,
we're to the point where we can bring in someone like the Benz to get us to the next level.
Let's not even get started on the fact that we're going to have the week after E3, Kyle Bossman on.
The final boss.
I feel like that's the final boss of the Superform Gamescast. Is Kyle Bossman.
Yeah, that's our last show. We won't top that.
Yeah, I know, right? Until I get Adam Boyes on, but which I'm working on as we speak. Everybody go retweet him like you did our last episode. But anyway, so let's before we get into the NPD stuff, let's talk about what we're all playing this week. And as always, we'll start with Brandon.
Boring. I've been playing Overwatch. Nothing but Overwatch.
Ooh. Although Overwatch is fucking awesome.
There's nothing else coming out nothing.
Who's
Overwatch
of the week,
Overwatch
Brandon?
is fucking amazing. Somebody in chat says, so everything after the final Bossman show will be New Game Plus. I like that. I'll take it. Okay. Z Huge, what are you playing this week?
This week, I'm playing this game. You guys might have heard of it. It's called Overwatch. It's this very niche game.
It's that new Gearbox joint.
Yeah, I don't think many people.
It's that hot new Musu joint, right?
I'll never stop making that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No, it's good. I like it. It's the first game that I played online where I think you kind of get that feeling where if you lose, it's not a bad thing. Because I'm basically always losing. So for me, I don't mind it.
Okay, and so I just saw something. I just got something really cool sent to me. I'll share with you guys in a minute. But awesome, thank you, dude. And are you playing anything else?
At the moment, no.
All right, and what else are you playing aside from Rocket League there, Flunky?
Not much different from last week. I've been playing Virtue's Last Reward, and I am almost done. I'm on the last branch of the entire game, so I'm in the last room, and I just have to get to the rest of the story, and then I should be all done with it and ready for Zero Time Dilemma. I'm so pumped. Great game.
Outstanding. And all right, and we got next. Jeff, you're the only one left, dude, because Gabe is no longer with us. What are you playing? I know what you're going to be playing, but I want to know what you're playing now.
I'm still playing Gravity Rush, so I think I'm like 3/4 through it almost. It's really good.
Dude, what a great fucking game. I could not be happier that you're playing that.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked it up. It seems like the perfect length. The challenge missions are kind of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a good mix of like combat and kind of some of the mechanics are a little bit cumbersome, but I could see them improving it a lot in a sequel. Especially the slide mechanic. The sliding is super fun. But yeah, no, it's.
Can you drive on like you can on the Vita with the DualShock, like tilting?
I haven't tried that, but I usually hate that in games.
I don't think you can. Like I've finished Gravity Rush Remastered, which is one of the finest remasters this generation. It looks fucking amazing considering it started life as a Vita game. I don't think you can.
Okay, because like I normally hate motion stuff like that too, but it worked really well with the sliding on the Vita. So.
Yeah,
cool. And I want to give a shout out to Chad, who is got Strange Powers on Gaff and Twitter. Sent me a free copy of Overwatch, all the way from Texas, so I should have that in a week or two. Yeah, he offered me Battleborn as well, but
you should have held out for Paragon.
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
What's the deal with that? It's out in stores now, and there's not a single review for it. Like, is it out?
Really?
I had no idea that was
for so long. I figured people just reviewed it.
Let alone physical.
All right.
The beta looked interesting, but I never played it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It looks interesting, and I've given it 2 chances now, and I just cannot get into it whatsoever. Like I thought it would be the one to get into, because like they were claiming it's like the anti-MOBA, and like this is going to be like the all action games people's entry to the MOBA genre, and it's like. It's confusing as fuck. So
I'd like to give it a shot. I should have played the beta. I kind of feel bad now.
Well, I've been playing Odin Sphere. Excuse me. And I got to tell you, like, I played it on PS2 way back when, and it is probably the most considering the source material, it is probably the most impressive remaster I've seen this generation. Everything runs at 1080p, at 60 frames a second. I have not seen one dip, and that is a busy fucking game. Like when combat gets going, I don't know if any of you guys have actually played Odin Sphere. I know Brandon has. But when combat gets going in that game, like shit gets moving. It's a fast game. It's also a gorgeous game. It's one of the prettiest games available on consoles right now, in my opinion. I mean, it's vanillaware. I mean, say which one.
Did you play Muramasa? I can't remember.
I did. Yeah, I played on a Vita. And this looks like, I mean, this is in another league as far as like vanillaware games go. It really makes me want them to do a remaster of Dragon's Crown, but I also don't want another remaster of anything right now. So
yeah,
that's kind of.
I want to play Odin Sphere again, but not for $60.
So here's the thing, dude. Like enough has changed in the game. I think it's a $60 game. Like I think it's. I mean, the menu system.
If you've never played it before, I think all
right. My advice would be. Yeah, I mean this game will drop in price quickly. There's going to be deals on it. If you've played it before, wait for it to drop to about $40 or $50 and then pick it up. It's absolutely worth it. But I mean, for me personally, I mean it's an easy $60. But I'm also a huge vanillaware games fan. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Odin Sphere and Overwatch, of course. I've been bouncing back and forth between that and Overwatch. But right now it's kind of Odin Sphere for me. And we have Gabe. Gabe has finally joined us. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, finally.
I know, right?
Router, but no, it's all good.
Yeah, Gabe, we've already talked at length about our technical difficulties tonight, and if we bring them up again, I think I'm going to start to have a panic attack. So
no, all right.
Yeah,
I'm not going to trigger you, man. Don't worry about it.
Don't trigger me, dude. Don't trigger me, bro. All right. So you came in just in time, Gabe. What are you playing this week?
Let me see. This week I've been playing Overwatch. I'm really enjoying the game. I'm not usually a multiplayer kind of guy, I prefer playing story-focused single player RPGs, but I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I only played for about 3 hours, I think. I didn't have much time to play it. I bought it this Saturday, but I'm really enjoying it. And I'm started playing a really good game that goes by the name of Murdered Soul Suspect.
Ooh, why?
Yeah, well,
I actually
man.
thought that was kind of cool.
It was in my backlog, my PC backlog, so I said, you know what the hell? Let's just play it.
Is that the Ellen Page one?
No.
No, that's the one where you're like, this is the one where you're like a stupid ghost
You're a
detective.
ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a cop and you got murder and you have to solve your own murder. So, yeah, that's about it.
You might as well play Ride to Hell Redemption.
Oh, don't put
Retribution.
them on the same level.
Oh, okay. All right, they're not that bad. Although, speaking of shitty games, I do want to point out that as we speak, Doc is not with us, but as we speak, I just want to dime him out. He's playing Homefront: The Revolution right now.
Oh.
I bet he's enjoying it.
It's a first-person shooter, so he's probably fucking loving it.
Yeah.
It's probably better than Uncharted.
wait, hold on. Wait, who's playing Homefront?
Doc is.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he'll be on Sunday talking to stream Bethesda with us, and I'm sure he'll tell us about how much better it is than Uncharted and The Last of Us. So
Mhm.
I look forward to hearing your opinions on that on Sunday, Doc. But okay, so cool. We got that out of the way. There's a few cool things I want to talk about tonight. But first, as the only reason we bring Z Huge on this channel, the only reason, is to talk about Musu games. So Z, I'm just kidding. Z, what happened with MPD today, man?
I can talk about Musu games if you want.
No, it's cool. No, it's
I
all right.
genuinely don't
Tell
mind.
us
It's okay.
tell us some of your good jokes, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to request that during your NPD rundown, you throw in at least 2 or 3 hugeisms. That's what I call them.
Hugeisms.
Hugeisms. Give me some hugeisms.
Well, I guess Battleborn shot of this month, so that's one joke. No,
Jesus Christ.
Coming out swinging.
God damn. Savage.
Holy shit.
All right. Let's let the man work.
You want me to go ahead, or?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay, so as I always say every week, this is the boring part of the podcast. So if you want to, if you're not interested in sales numbers, then I don't know, make a cup of tea or something.
Don't say that.
You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Anybody who doesn't want to listen to this can. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't want to alienate our viewers. Anyway,
But
let's
basically,
go.
the NPD group, they release a report every month, which is basically the states of the US games market. So the main takeaway this month is that the market as a whole is down about 15% in May 2016 compared to 2015. Main reason for that is due to a decline in hardware sales and accessory sales.
That's from last gen, though, right, Z? Like.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the hardware sales were down because of last gen and portable sales. 8th gen, so PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, were actually flat year on year, and the average sale prices were down. So that's what contributed to the actual spend on consoles being down. But in terms of hardware sales, yeah, fairly flat. Not much change there.
Didn't the I want to point out something interesting. I had read that, and I sorry to interrupt you, Z, but I didn't know if you're going to bring this up or not. I noticed that the PS4 numbers are somewhere north of 200K, and that's the first time that's happened for any console in 5 years.
Probably, yeah.
I think the last time a console sold above 200K in May was May 2011. Of course, if what I read is accurate.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's only May.
Yeah,
It's only
it's a meaningless month. Yeah, I mean but that's got to be due to Uncharted, though, right? Like, I mean, you figure.
Yeah, so the Uncharted bundle, which was released this month, would have contributed quite a good number of units. It's not going to be the overwhelming, it's not going to be the best-selling bundle. That'll be the Call of Duty one.
Sure.
But
Okay.
yeah, it would have done well. Just to give one stat, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One combined hardware sales, the cumulative total, are up 43% versus PS3 and 360 when you kind of align sales and in the same time frame. So, this gen has been quite healthy so far.
I was gonna say, dude, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, it's for those two it's good. Wii U obviously is doing nowhere near what what we
Oh,
did.
it's too soon for that, man. Can we not? Yeah,
Too soon, okay.
I feel really bad about that.
But in terms of software, this month was actually really good for software. So we saw Uncharted 4, which was the big game of this month. So that sold really well. It's the best-selling Uncharted game in the US for the first month. So, huge numbers there. Number 2 was Doom. So Doom had a great month.
I am so fucking happy about that.
Yeah.
I
mean,
am thrilled.
Nothing but good.
Thrilled. And that means we're going to get a sequel. And shit, that might mean we get fucking Quake. So, awesome. Good job on you consumers for buying an amazing fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, consumers really responded well to that. It did better than Doom 3 back in 2004. And it's the best-selling opening in the franchise compared to any game.
Good job, gamers. That's amazing.
Doom 3 had a weird launch because it launched on PC exclusive. And
Yeah.
It did,
Yeah.
It still did really well on PC.
Plus, it was really polarizing because it was more of a survival horror game than it was a fucking bang bang shooty, fucking first-person shooter. So, but no, that's fucking awesome, dude. And just a quick aside on Doom, I don't know if you guys saw, but apparently it is taking over for the multiplayer. Which I don't know, maybe it's too little, too late, but I think that's very fucking.
I think it's too little,
cool.
too late.
It might be, but at any rate, dude, like you don't see that too often, so I think it's a pretty cool move. But anyway, Z, keep going, man.
Yeah, so the third one was Overwatch. So that had had quite a good launch. What I will say though is that the MPD only track new physical sales. So that's basically new packaged goods that are sold in retail stores or online. So it doesn't include digital copies. So with Overwatch, the majority of its sales will have come from digital PC and also digital console. And so because those aren't counted in this report, because it's at number 3 doesn't mean it didn't do amazing, because it could have been the number 1 best-selling game, if digital was included. So that is something to keep in mind, but it still did really well. And when you actually align Overwatch's first 4 days with what Doom sold in 4 days, Overwatch actually did better. So even though it was number 3, because it was out for less days this month, it actually did quite well, and actually better than what Doom did in that same time frame.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because this is, I think now more than ever, this is a really, really good conversation to have. So, a lot of people, and I've seen people in chat have been asking about Uncharted 4 sales, right? And so I know they say that physical sales, like physical alone, is under 1 million, right? But that's not including bundles and it's not including digital, right? So so without being able to tell what the split is on physical and digital. One, do you think Uncharted 4 sales are over 1 million realistically in the U.S.? And two, I mean, how long? And this is for the whole group. How long is it before NPD starts tracking digital sales? Because it's becoming more and more irrelevant for software sales by the month.
Yeah, so they're
going to have to evolve at some point.
Yeah, the number for Uncharted is 2.7 million worldwide, which is what Sony announced themselves. So that includes digital sales in that number. I mean, to be honest, in terms of the US market, Uncharted has never been a huge, massive, day one hit. It does well, but it's not on the scale of, say, Halo last gen, where Halo would sell 3 million in one day. This is about 1 million in 1 week or 2. When did Uncharted come out?
Oh shit, May 10th. 10th?
Maybe,
Yeah,
it's about 2-3 weeks, yeah.
Has it been that long already?
It really has, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. After that's what I'm going to do after I finish Odin Sphere. I'm going to go get my Uncharted 4 plat.
In terms of digital sales, it's an interesting one because the way NPD works is they get sales data from retailers directly. So it's basically point of sale data that they get. So Best Buy, for example, they'll scan a game, and then that's counted as a sale on NPD's database. The issue with digital, however, is that you've got PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and Steam, for example, and if the NPD group want to get sales numbers from them, they'll need to get permission from Sony. The issue then becomes is that one publisher, for example, might not want their game sales to be shared with anyone, or even Sony might not want their game sales data to be shared. So if just one publisher says we don't want our data to be shared, then Sony will have to decline it for all of their games, effectively.
So, hey, real quick, Z, I just want to interrupt you real quick because he's only in chat for just a minute, but I want to give a quick shout out to Jay Williams, who you guys can see his graphic god in the chat. He made me a really, really fucking awesome Twitter avatar. I'll share it with you guys here in a second, but it's amazing. It's fucking awesome. He does some really good work. So if you guys need like some artwork for him or channel artwork or Twitter avatar stuff, hit him up. He at graphic god or at graphic_god on Twitter. He's does some really amazing work. Jay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate all your hard work, man. Sorry, he's only got a limited amount of time in chat, Z. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to give him that shout out.
No, that's cool, man. So yeah, basically what it is that it's not really the NPD's fault that they're not able to track digital. It's the fact that publishers and platform holders aren't willing to give it out. And they don't need to give it out because they don't really need to know what their competitors are doing when they have a good idea themselves. So there's no reason for them to give out the data to NPD or to anyone. So effectively, we're never going to get NPD digital numbers. We'll just get it from publishers themselves or from the platform holders. The good thing about NPD is that they do actually track digital as a whole. So they release a report every quarter which basically says, this is how digital is doing as a whole. So it's not specific as such, but it kind of looks at the whole industry and kind of how that's doing. But in terms of actually getting reliable digital sales, it's all estimates. Even the guys like Superdata who say we can tell you how much each company has sold, it's still estimates.
I get all my numbers from VG charts. They're the only source that I trust.
Yeah, dude. Here's the crazy thing about that. Actually, did you guys hear that Aquamarine is on VG charts now?
What, did she get fired from her big time job?
I don't know, man, but she's been dropping the numbers on VG charts for like 2 months now.
Oh, do they have a forum or something?
Yeah, they got a forum. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I don't even I don't read VG charts. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody. I mean, they were. I mean, she's over and she's pissed at Gaff too, man. She's like, bah. But
she probably deserves to be.
Probably. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. But cool. All right. Z, thanks for the rundown, buddy. It is always appreciated. And just to answer, okay, so JT doesn't know who Aquamarine is. Basically, JT, she is somebody she had access to the NPDs, like the actual numbers, and she was banned from GAF, and she got all pissed off and went to VG charts, and now I guess
she wasn't banned from GAF. She requested to be banned. It's just a big, long, complicated thing.
Yeah,
she got in trouble with her job, and yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, she was a really nice person. So, but anyway, so what do we got coming up this weekend? We got Bethesda. So E3 has officially. Although I feel like E3 has begun. I feel like it began Monday.
It's awesome. We get 2 full weeks of E3. It's so good.
I mean, it's fucking unbelievable, isn't it? Like I've never seen leaks like these before.
Just couldn't wait an extra week to get that Watch Dogs 2 in there. Had to have it.
That shit. So I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter feed the other day, but damn, I was so what?
You're so hyped.
Whoever designed that character or those characters in that setting, it's like a room full of 65-year-old golf professionals trying to figure out what all this fucking bleeping and blooping is about. Like, I mean, did you guys see that image where it's got the three people standing on the on the roof, and you got like gay freaking dominatrix R2D2 right there, and then you've got several cars suspended from cranes in the background, and you got these fucking hackers with phones and guns, and I was like, I know computer hackers. I've met them. I know computer hackers in real life. This is not what a fucking computer hacker looks like.
I mean, that's cool. They can do their own thing just as long as they do it.
I was going to say, I mean, at least the game has a personality, even if it's a personality you don't like. Like, they've got a definite style that they're going.
It looks like an Infamous game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look
I
like
can see Nate Fox
Fight
in
the
that
power,
game.
man. Yeah, fight the power. Back when I was in college, I went to a protest and.
No, seriously, like the first thing I thought when I saw those cars, I was like, I was like, do they have telekinesis? How the fuck did they get these cars up here? It's just, the whole thing looks utterly fucking
They
ridiculous.
hacked them up there, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
I saw a funny tweet. I wish I could credit it. They said it looks like what happens when a bunch of rich actors try to slum it for a weekend to like understand.
To understand the pain of the bourgeois.
I mean, I cannot be disappointed in Watch Dogs 2 because it looks like such an improvement over Watch Dogs 1. I like.
It looks really fun.
That's not a very high bar.
It's not, but whatever. I'm willing to give it a chance.
Hey, I just want to.
I'll be there day one.
I'll give a shout out to our 39 viewers in chat right now. It's not a bad number for starting almost 30 minutes late. 40 viewers, not bad. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up.
Before we go into more stuff, I dug up our predictions from a few episodes ago because I thought it'd be fun to.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Go over those again right before the weekend. So
yeah, let's hear it.
we had one prediction from each person. Some of them aren't really predictions. Shinobi just said Mass Effect gameplay, which. That's a certainty, I think. I think he was just leaking that one.
Yeah.
Al said we were going to get a new game from, or a new IP. Miyazaki's new game.
Okay, yeah, all right. I don't think that's going to happen. But
yeah.
I think it's going to be Bloodborne 2.
Brandon
do they call it Bloodborne 2?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Or like Bloodborne : whatever.
Yeah.
Bloodborne.
I would rather see them go with like Bloodborne : subtitle.
I want them to call it Bloodborne Bloodier.
Blood harder.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Brandon said from Bethesda we'll see Prey 2.
I think.
I wonder what they're going to call that. Because I think you're going to see it.
We know that's coming now, right? Like that leak.
It'll be, it'll probably be, it's a reboot. It'll be a new IP. But what are they?
And he said no Wolfenstein.
A motherfucker.
No, Wolfenstein is totally happening.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein is totally.
John said we'll get Dishonored gameplay. I think that's a safe guess.
I like to play it
safe.
safe.
This year, right?
What's that?
It's out this year, Dishonored?
Yeah, no, it's coming out in November. That's like one of my most anticipated games this year, dude.
Okay. Zuge was on that episode. He said, or Z-Huge, I have really bad TF2 joke. He says something about Titanfall and Team Fortress. And he also said we're getting a new AAA IP from Ubisoft set in the future.
Yeah.
It's an Assassin's Creed game with no time travel.
Basically, Ubisoft have got some really, really great stuff. And I'm not a shill. Maybe I am, but they've
Ubisoft's making a Musou? Yo, stop the fucking presses.
They've got some really great stuff to show, and I mean, I guess if you like VR, they've got 2 VR games. They've got one new IP, which is kind of a future thing. It's good. You should check it out. And Watch Dogs 2 looks great, even if it is set for millennials. For Honor is amazing, and South Park.
Okay, that does look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously South Park as well, which everyone is looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that.
They missed. Yeah, it's such a missed opportunity to not have South Park: The Stick of Truth on current gen.
On the topic of For Honor, I was hearing some podcasts with impressions. I didn't realize people had played it, but the impressions sound really fucking good.
They do.
Like the combat.
It looks a lot like Chivalry, modern or medieval warfare, to me. I don't know. That's just the vibe.
Way better graphics and way better production values. Yeah.
I mean, just like from a first glance, that's kind of what it reminds me of right off the bat. You know.
Yeah.
In a good way though. It's not like that's a crowded genre.
I just want to point out. I just want to point out that Skyrim Remastered is going to be shown on Sunday, and have you guys heard about the podcast that broke that first?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like IGN, Eurogamer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to point out to everybody that when you see Skyrim Remastered on Sunday, Shinobi on episode 33 was the one who broke it on this amazing podcast first.
We have nothing but the most boring leaks.
We really, really do.
That is pretty much
It is-
the most boring leak that has come out.
You motherfuckers are crazy. That shit is going to be awesome because I guarantee you it gets mod support, and that is.
It will. Yeah, of course it will.
It's gonna
Yeah,
get
on
mod
Xbox
support.
first, though.
I fucking love Skyrim. I could not be happier about Skyrim Remastered. And what's even cooler is that Super Deformed Gamescast got a mention in Eurogamer and IGN. So boom, mic drop, and it probably didn't do much for us. But hey, you know what? It's pretty cool.
No, I checked that video. It didn't really get any new views.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I'll just
say-
finish this off.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Zhuge also said, well, he thinks we'll get a new Rockstar announcement. JT said we're going to get a big remaster, maybe Siphon filter.
Siphon filter.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
And
Siphon.
I said we'll get a tease for Sucker Punch's new game. So
What do you think that is?
no clue. Not Spider-Man. I don't see why Sony would let one of their first-party studios make a licensed game when they could build their own IP.
We've already said. Was it Shinobi who said that it's not Infamous?
I don't remember.
I want to say that. I want to say that a knowledgeable insider said that it was not Infamous they were working on.
I believe it.
And you know what, dude? I hope that's the case because I would like to see them kind of take a break from that and move on. And so, yeah. Speaking of Sucker Punch, Delson Rowe in the chat. That's fucking ironic. He says Spider-Man is Insomniac. That's the rumor. Yeah, I've heard that rumor. I'm not sure I'm buying it. So
That'd be a good fit.
I would like to see a multi-platform Sunset Overdrive sequel.
So well, you know, dude, I tweeted that exact shit out today. I said, what if Insomniac is working on Sunset Overdrive 2 for PS4 and Xbox One?
Because they kept the IP, right? That was part of the
that's
agreement.
their IP. Microsoft does not own that IP.
No, screw Spider-Man. Let's see a new Resistance.
I would
Insomniac.
I would much better. I would much rather have a new Resistance game than a new Spider-Man game because Spider-Man games.
Crash and Skylanders, fuck out of here, Z.
That's all. So somebody's got to explain this to me because I heard very briefly. I heard a tiny bit about this today. So what is this fucking Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders bullshit I'm hearing? Is that what it is? It's not a game.
Crash owns
Basically, there's a Singaporean retailer who put up the Skylanders Imaginators pre-order page, and for the PlayStation 4 version, there's like a standard edition you can order, a different edition, and then there's also a Crash edition you can order. So either that's the Toys to Life Industry Crash version,
So sad.
or it's the Crash Bandicoot version, or it's just some Singaporean retailer making stuff up. I don't know. It's a rumor. I don't believe it.
What a huge troll.
Wouldn't that be the most amazing troll ever if everybody was all excited about Crash Bandicoot and it was a fucking Skylander figure?
Oh, it's amazing.
Like that. There's no way that's real. I don't believe that for a minute. And I don't get the fucking nostalgia behind Crash Bandicoot. You know,
whatever. I'll let the people have their nostalgia. I never played
But
them.
the last two Crash Bandicoot games were hot garbage, and I'm sorry for anybody.
Which one was the last two? Like some spin-off?
It's like the Wrath of Neo Cortex and
those
something else.
weren't even made by Naughty Dog, were they?
Crash Team Racing.
Crash Bandicoot was cool, but it was Temple Run. I mean, it was Temple Run, and I just don't, unless you're gonna do something like Ratchet and Clank, I would much rather have Jak and Daxter.
Guys, 2 words.
Yep.
Knack 2.
Knack.
The
knackening.
I am pretty sure Knack 2 is going to happen. I would not be.
It's probably going to happen, yes.
Yeah, Here's what I've heard about Sony's conference. A couple people on GAF were talking. Gopher and Matt were talking about this on GAF. Apparently, Sony's strategy is they're like, look, fuck it. If we know we're making it, show it. Doesn't matter if it's coming out in 2019.
Oh my god.
Coming out in 2020. Just fucking shit all our stuff up because and here's why, because they saw what happened last year. Like, even though none of those games are coming out anytime soon, like, look at the fucking reaction it got. Right? So that's what Sony's gonna do again this year, is from what I'm hearing, is they're gonna throw the fucking kitchen sink at E3, and I think that's a terrible fucking idea. It's a terrible idea.
Because then all this shit gets delayed, and then and
people get pissed off, and people complain. Like, look at I mean, fucking look at Horizon. I mean, I don't think. I mean, I was convinced Horizon was going to come out in 2016. Like, I was convinced. And it's delayed. It got delayed to what, February 28th of next year. Delson Rowe in chat says they're going to fucking nuke Microsoft out of the water. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, if they announce, so here's the problem that Sony runs into. If they I do not think that you're going to see The Last of Us 2 at E3. People have been saying, oh, they're going to close the show with that. No, they're going to close the show with God of War 4. That's what's going to happen. If they do close the show with a teaser of The Last of Us 2, I guarantee you, you're not playing that game until 2019 at the earliest. The earliest. And you know that is probably, aside from the Uncharted 4 DLC, which I guarantee you will see, that is all you're going to get from Naughty Dog. Until that is the game they're working on, is The Last of Us 2. And
at best, it's in pre-production right now. And like,
yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, I guarantee there's obviously Uncharted 4 DLC they're working on right now. That's where.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what you're going to see at E3. But Chris Reyes in chat says, "Are you mad at the delay for Horizon?" No, nope. I'm cool with it. I don't know.
Got so much shit for that, and he's right.
What was that?
Shinobi got so much shit for that, and he was right.
Yeah, he was right. I mean, yeah,
of course he was right.
It's fucking. It's Shinobi. He's right about most things. Shinobi will be joining us. By the way, for anybody in chat who doesn't know this, I tweeted it out earlier. But Shinobi will be joining us on Sunday to live stream Bethesda's conference, and he will also be joining us on Tuesday to stream Sony's conference. So
that's Monday.
I'm sorry, Monday. Yeah, Monday. Yeah. So as Square Enix would say, please be excited for that. Speaking of Square Enix, I wanted to ask you guys, Jeff, do you have any more of our predictions, by the way, before I go on?
No, that was everything. Everything of importance. Yeah.
You know what we really haven't talked about is Square Enix and what they're going to do.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts time.
It has to be, right?
So basically, what's going to happen?
Oh shit!
Square Enix is going to come on stage, and do a quick 2-minute intro, and then say, "Please be excited for Tokyo Game Show." Walk off.
We have more to reveal in the coming days, and then you're not going to hear anything for the next year and a half.
I mean, they already put out the trailers for Final Fantasy 12 Remastered and World.
Yeah.
I actually saw an article that referred to Final Fantasy 12. It said finally the best Final Fantasy is getting remastered, and I almost flipped the fucking table over.
I like Final Fantasy 12, but
I am so excited to play it. It's like a new game because I don't know anything about it.
It's a very good one.
I got all the way. I played that motherfucker in Afghanistan, and I got when I was deployed, and I got all the way to the final boss, and I died once, and I was like, you know what? I don't fucking care, and I never finished it.
That final boss came out of nowhere. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And I was like, I watched the ending cutscene, and I had no idea what happened. Yeah, but I still enjoyed the gameplay.
He killed me once, and I was like, I'm done. I don't even.
Are you guys hyped for a World of Final Fantasy though?
Yes.
Like, that seems like that should be right up your alley as a huge Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know it looks awesome.
I'll play chibi Final Fantasy.
But I just wish it wasn't like this whole 100-hour-long thing.
I'm gonna play it on Vita. I can guarantee you that.
I'm hoping that's just like all the side quests and shit.
Yeah.
Like, kind of the main stories.
Well, I mean, like Final Fantasy 12 is the longest Final Fantasy, and that's like 120 hours. If you do
Gio in chat says the world of Funko Pop. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
But dude, I would love. You know what? I would love some Final Fantasy Funko Pop vinyls. Like, I would love that. I've got a ton of my little fucking nerdy shelves here.
So, Crash and Final Fantasy.
Crash Bandicoot in Final Fantasy. He's one of those secret bosses in Final Fantasy. But I mean, so like in all seriousness,
Lex of World of Warcraft. Yeah.
You got to figure Nier 2 is going to be
World of Final Fantasy.
I mean, they're going to show Nier 2. They're going to show Final Fantasy 15. I've got a crazy theory to throw out, and I threw this out on Twitter today. You guys tell me what you think, and everybody in chat, you tell me what you think too. What if they threw out a demo for Final Fantasy VII Remake with Final Fantasy 15?
It's not ready.
Nope, not ready.
No.
Just a small slice, kind of like no bigger than that stupid demo we got where Noctis was a kid beating shit up with a hammer.
Maybe with the Final Fantasy 12 remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You think?
that's more
Something
like
like that, because I mean they put out an early demo of Final Fantasy 15 that
Yeah, but that game was
and
in
it's
development
changed
for like
the whole-
10 fucking years. Like they had
Yeah.
to put
That's true.
something out to remind people that it's like.
And the gameplay they showed from 7 at PSX looked like it was barely strung together. Like,
Yeah, the frame rate was.
It wasn't running well. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't running well.
I don't think. I mean, all their hands are focused on 15, and then probably Kingdom Hearts 3 after that.
But okay, so, but just like you said, I mean, they had to remind because I mean, Square Enix recently has been taking notoriously fucking long to crank games, to get their fucking games out. So what if they're like, fuck it, put a short, just like even if it's just a 10-minute combat demo in with Final Fantasy 15, just to tell people or just to reassure people, hey, we're working on this game, we're pushing it out. As fast as we
like
can.
they had a Final Fantasy 7 demo in the 90s that was just the
Mhm.
battle arena.
We had,
The thing with-
it was that first mission into the reactor, right?
Well,
If you
there was
read-
multiple demos. One of them was the battle arena from the Gold Saucer. I
If
think
you
it
read
was
the
on-
interviews, it sounds like they're still figuring out the systems. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if they'd want to put out a demo and then completely change the direction.
Yeah, no, it's way too early. It's like a year too early to think about a demo.
Hmm. Well, you got to. All right, fine. I don't know.
I would love it.
That's my
I mean,
ridiculous
Square,
goal.
Yeah,
Square has a great history of doing that because they put like the Final Fantasy 8 demo in Brave Fencer Musashi.
Yeah.
Then they put the Final Fantasy 12 demo in Dragon Quest 8, stuff like that. They do it all the time.
I would love for them to start doing more stuff like that because Square Enix used to be like the fucking kings of demos, right? Like they were throwing demos out with fucking everything. But I mean, Square Enix. Back when they were SquareSoft, they haven't been
Oh yeah,
SquareSoft in a long
Final
time.
Fantasy 7 demo came with Tobal #1.
I used to love Total Number One, dude. That game was my jam right there. I don't care what anybody says. Chris Reyes in chat says, just remaster Vagrant Story, please. I'd love that. I would love an up. There are so many properties that Square Enix has that they could revisit that I would love, like Chrono Trigger. I can't believe we've not gotten another Chrono Trigger game, or Vagrant Story, or what's the it was a fucking PS1 game. It had a dude and a chick, and I can't remember the.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Yeah, the dude in the
Yeah.
chicken.
No, but they were the only two
Get the
characters.
chick game.
Shut the fuck
PS1.
up. They were the only two characters.
Wow.
They were the only two characters. and I
Wild
can't-
Guns.
Wait, you talking about Wild Arms?
Wild Arms.
Wild Guns?
Wild
No,
Guns.
listen.
I get those two confused all the fucking
No,
time.
Wild Guns wasn't a Square Enix game.
Wild Guns was the RPG.
Or Wild Arms. God damn it! Now you got me saying Wild Guns.
Which
Shit.
one was the side-scrolling shooter? Was that
Oh,
Wild Arms?
Einhander.
No. Well, whatever. We're talking about different things. Yeah, yes, Einhander was awesome. We
Yes,
should get an Einhander update.
I would. Dan or
Fucking
Well,
Final
this
Fantasy 13.
Parasite
HD
Eve. Somebody
remaster.
chat said Parasite Eve. I missed it. I don't think you're ever going to see Parasite Eve again.
There was that Easter egg in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Ian in
But
chat
man,
That was
says
the third.
Did you play the third birthday? Because I did.
I did. Yeah, it was alright.
No, it wasn't I.
It was alright.
Oh.
I prefer Parasite Eve, but whatever.
It wasn't
Um,
I.
Ian in chat.
It was absolute trash.
Did you
Ian
play
in
on
chat says
PSP?
bring back
or-
Rear Guys. Then he says please don't.
I
What
played
about the bouncer? Let's do the bouncer. I want the fucking bouncer.
No, dude. You take your
What?
bouncer.
I want a bouncer sequel.
No.
Okay, but in all seriousness, so we've talked about Square Enix. We got Bethesda coming up, and I think we all know what's going to be shown at Bethesda's conference. And then we got E3 coming up next week, and we've already been over the majority of our predictions. I'll just go ahead and say that, it's been an interesting 2 weeks. I mean, there have been more leaks this year than almost any other E3 I can remember. And so I guess my question to you guys is how long is it before E3 just doesn't even fucking matter anymore? Like, how long is it before this becomes irrelevant? I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed there are more and more leaks every year, and I mean, everybody's wad has been blown at this point, just about. I mean, shit, we've seen fucking God of War artwork. I mean, we know it's Norse mythology. I mean, we know almost everything about what's coming, I would imagine, at E3. So, I mean, I'm still excited for it.
We'll get back to that next week, because people say that every year. People said that last year. We already know everything that's coming. And then fucking it was still the E3 of dreams.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, that Mr. Expedia guy, he's spoiled. the fucking Final Fantasy VII and Shenmue and The Last Guardian reveals. Like he threw it out
But
there.
I
He was like,
still
yeah, it's all coming.
I saw them, and I mean, it was so hard to believe. Like all three of those in the same show. I don't care how many insiders said it. It still had to be something I had to see to believe. And it happened. It happened, but like, I wasn't sold just because some dude on the internet was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get Shenmue and The Last Guardian and Final Fantasy VII all in one conference." I wasn't just like, "Oh yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable."
Especially because we went through all that the year before and it didn't happen. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, Jeff, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like I don't know that E3 is going away, but it's definitely changing, and I think a lot of the companies are realizing that it's a lot of money and a big event to put on this big show, and you know, I think more they want to appeal to their core consumers and their core audience, and E3 is still very much the press, and I think they're realizing they don't necessarily need the press that much. They can kind of just set up their own events, do their own streams, kind of like Nintendo does with their directs, and reach those audiences directly without having to go through this whole thing, which is why you have a lot of companies that pulled out of E3 or are doing their own shows instead of latching onto the other ones. So, and then especially when you have all these other events like Gamescom's becoming huge and things like PAX, and I think they might focus more on the events or the like PSX, like where they can actually get regular people in to go and play their games, because that's what builds the buzz. Is when you see all these impressions from people that played a game at one of these events and start telling their friends about it. I think that's more important to them than just these journalists going and playing games and writing up a preview.
If we do get like a Red Dead anything remaster, fucking
Oh
Red
my
Dead
God.
3, that will blow people's minds. Even I
Yeah.
mean, even though it's
Yeah.
expected, it's fucking Rockstar. They do whatever they want, and they surprise people every single time.
I think you're going to get a fucking Red Dead remaster announced for this year, and I think you're going to get a Red Dead Redemption 2 announced for next year.
If not at E3, because Rockstar obviously doesn't give a fuck about E3. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I honestly, I think they're going to be at E3, and I think they're going to show those games. I also think you're going to see Resident Evil 7.
Wasn't it Grand Theft Auto 4 that got announced at E3 or whatever?
Yeah.
With Peter Moore had like the
The
fucking
tattoo.
Yeah, he pulled his tattoo up. And he was like, "Check it out," you know. Which, but I thought it was that was such a dumb way to announce games. Just tell me the fucking game's coming out. But I think you're going to see Resident Evil 7, and I think it's going to be a fucking reboot of the series completely.
You think we see RE2 remake at E3?
Yep.
Yeah, I hope so. I haven't
It's been
heard
a little while.
shit.
I haven't heard shit about that at all.
They're doing it.
I would know. I mean, I know they're doing it, but we haven't seen hide nor hair of it.
Yeah.
We've known they've been doing it for a while.
It's been a while since they announced it. Yeah.
I think
Just
you're
figured
gonna,
maybe they want to like do a big Resident Evil It's Back with RE2 and then the new one, 7
That's cool.
reboot.
Man.
yeah. I just want Resident, and I guarantee you it does. It is not called Resident Evil 7. I mean, it'll be the 7th game in the series, but I think they're going to take it all the way back to the beginning.
Nah, it's gonna be called Resident Evil 7.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that
Resident Evil Sport.
Resident Evil Sport, Resident Evil VR.
Yeah.
But like in all
On
honesty,
rails.
I feel like 6 tainted the brand enough and tainted the. I feel like they want to disassociate themselves from that.
Resident Evil Revengeance.
Who said that? Who said that? Oh, dude, nice. I like it. I wasn't looking at the chat. That's fucking. That's
works.
awesome.
It
Resident Evil
works.
Revengeance. I'll take it. I'll allow it. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a reboot. And for the love of God, get rid of that co-op bullshit in Resident Evil. That is.
Yeah, please, single player only, please.
Please, that has.
Not happening.
That is what ruined Resident Evil, in my opinion. It wasn't 5, it wasn't 6, it was the addition of co-op, which removed all the fucking fear and tension from the game.
I don't think you see a new Resident Evil from now to the end of time being non-co-op.
I think you will. I think Capcom is finally. Honestly, I don't think they can afford another fuck up after Street Fighter 5. I really don't.
Evil Within had a better launch than Resident Evil 5.
That's something else, by the way, Brandon. I think we're going to see on Sunday. I think we're going to see the Evil Within 2.
I think if the Evil Within can come out and set records for the genre, why wouldn't they make a single player Resident Evil 7? I don't know. They are going to make, and I guarantee you they're looking at what Shinji Mikami did with the Evil Within, which said I think it was like the fastest selling new horror IP of all time. Yeah.
And I mean there's an audience out there that wants a good single player horror experience. And speaking of a good single player horror experience, you've also got Outlast 2 coming out this year, which I'm fucking so excited about. So which of you guys, and just for our audience, which of you guys are going to be available to join us on Sunday to live stream?
I'll be there for Bethesda and Sony.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys?
Bethesda and Sony, yeah, Sunday and Tuesday night. Yep.
All right.
Probably
Jeff, what
not.
about you?
Probably not Sony. Maybe Bethesda.
Okay. Cool.
DVD.
And I know Doc is going to be there for everything, so no, that's cool. So I wanted to kind of talk about, we had talked about this in Twitter DMs, and I want to get off of E3 for a minute because I mean we it's just in a few days, and we've talked it to death. But I came across a Twitter conversation today that kind of really piqued my curiosity. And I wanted to see what you guys thought. I wanted to see what our pals in chat thought as well. And it was three people. I don't really know these people, but it was three people arguing over the merits of boss fights and whether or not they're still relevant in today's games, whether or not they're still needed. And I thought both sides made some very, very cogent arguments. But I want to take maybe like the last 10, 15 minutes here, and I want to see what you guys think. Boss fights. I already know what a couple of you guys think, but I'd like to hear you articulate it verbally as opposed to typing it. So, Jeff, why don't we start with you? I know you've got kind of a divergent opinion from.
Yeah, I mean, I play games very differently from a lot of people. Like I'm a hardcore gamer because I play every game, but I don't think I have the same. I play mostly for story more than like the gameplay, which is why I play on easy a lot, and I'm terrible at all of them. I think boss fights are really good at certain games. Like Bayonetta fucking needs boss fights, or like character action games, first-person shooters. But like stuff like third-person shooters, like if I never saw another boss fight in a third-person shooter, I'd pretty much be happy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of third-person shooters with good boss fights, other than Vanquish.
Like
Gears of War.
They're great when they have cool mechanics.
Which one in Gears of War? Because I can't think of any.
There was the Lambent Queen, right?
In which one? I only played Gears 1 and 2.
Gears of War 3. You had the Lambent
I only played 1 and 2, so I'll give that one to you.
I thought is it like the first boss that you got to on the train? Is that the first one of number 1?
That was the final boss of Gears 1. On the train.
Yeah, okay, that was the final.
General Ram you fought.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, I get because it was co-op focused. There was cool things you could do with co-op, the way you could go down the train. Okay, yeah, that was okay as far as they go. Yeah. It was certainly better than Uncharted, any of Uncharted's fucking boss.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
No, come on now. Uncharted 4 had a really good boss fight, I thought.
Yeah, but it's not even really a boss fight. It's more like a QT sequence. But.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's different from, like, for example, The Order, in which, like, you can easily die. Like, it's hard. Like, it is difficult. It's one of the most difficult QTEs I've ever played.
Yeah.
The thing I just hate is when it's just a beefed up enemy with like a shitload of health and it's just super tedious. Like the good ones are really interesting, have mechanics that you've like taken from the rest of the game and use them in a fun way. So if they're inspired, I guess they're good.
So the Division basically is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Awful.
Every enemy in the Division is just a horrible boss fight.
Awful. Yeah. I'm a human being, and I can take 15 rounds of ammunition to the head before I go down.
That's just what took me out of that game so much. It's
I understand. I understand it's because video games, But I mean, when I can shoot a fireman in the head 15 times, and he's just coming at me with his flamethrower, dude, like it pulls me out completely. That's why I
shoot him in the oxygen tank once.
Yeah, that's a good point. At least it's got that going for it. But I mean, I personally like. So somebody in chat, I think it was Geo. Geo in chat says he plays games for boss fights. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I love a really good boss
I got
fight.
a game for you, and it's called Cuphead.
No, that's actually not. They actually added platforming levels. Did you hear about that?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like an actual like nothing but boss fight game anymore. But I mean, and Jeff just now in chat says shout out to Zelda for good bosses. I mean, Zelda
Zelda bosses are great.
Amazing fun. But I mean, if you want to talk about bosses, you guys know what I'm going to say, but it's true. I mean, you got to talk about Dark Souls. I mean, the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne, of course, because that's a Souls game. I mean, these are great examples of amazing boss fight. And it's not just it's not just the mechanics of a boss fight. It's the lore behind a boss fight. It's the story. It's the music behind a boss fight.
Most of my favorite boss fights are character action games.
Like
the final boss of Bayonetta.
Ooh, that's
one. Yeah.
Jubileus.
Jubileus. Yeah, Jubileus.
Jubileus. like one of my favorite bosses in recent years was, and minor spoilers if you haven't played Bloodborne: The Old Blood. The statute of limitations has passed on that, but it's not a huge spoiler. You fight when you fight Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. It is, like everything from the fucking music to the fact that you're fighting the human incarnation of the doll in the Hunter's Dream. And it's a tense fight. It's a really emotional fight. It's a really difficult fucking fight, and that's again one of the reasons that the Souls games are so special to me, so close to my heart, is that those boss fights give you that heart pounding feeling that you really really can't find in almost any other game. The only game with bosses that have come close to me, the only other game that has come close to the Souls games in terms of really really good bosses is got to be either Zelda or fucking Super Metroid.
You know what?
Shadow of the Colossus. It's nothing but bosses.
That's what I was gonna say. There's some definite exceptions. Shadow of the Colossus is amazing, and that's all boss. I mean, that's a different game because the entire game is built around those. What is it? Eight bosses.
Yeah.
But
It's
another
like
one
15
that.
or 20, I think.
Oh really?
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Well, hold on. Yeah, there's more than 8. Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's been a long time since I played it, but I mean that was an amazing game, and every boss it's like a journey, to get there, and then you take it down. But the one that's really memorable for me is the Metal Gear Solid games. MGS3, like those were fantastic. Yeah, the end, like that is one of my favorite boss battles of all time.
Did you know that
because it stuck with me for so long?
Did you know that you can let him die of old age?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Like that's just fucking amazing.
Literally everyone knows that.
I didn't know. Like no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Welcome to 2004.
Anyway.
Fat Man was pretty awesome too.
What, Batman?
No,
Batman.
Batman.
Oh, they said Batman. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
he was the guy that rolled around on roller skates, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Laugh and grow fat.
I hated that guy.
I thought you were going to talk about Batman bosses. Like, dude, the Batman games had terrible bosses for the most part.
That fucking Total Recall ripoff boss from Arkham Knight.
What do you guys
Oh,
What do you
God.
guys think about the Resident Evil bosses? Like the 4, 5, and 6, I guess.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 had some really good ones.
Resident Evil 4 had some really good bosses. Like I can't remember his name, but it's one of Salazar's bodyguards who chases you through the fucking tunnel.
I fucking hated that one.
Yeah, that insect ninja looking deal. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
That's the point where I almost put the game down because I couldn't do it, and me being shit at games, like it frustrated me. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was good. He was real good.
The chainsaw dude in 5, like the very first one.
I thought 5 had terrible bosses. Terrible.
I don't remember any of the bosses from 5.
There was a giant bat. There was a giant mutated bat, and there was there was one of those giants from Resident Evil 4, but you fought him in a turret.
Of course you did.
And then you had Wesker at the end when you're punching the boulder.
Of course.
That's so bad.
I certainly remember punching the boulder.
Yeah, that boulder was the true final boss of
was.
Resident Evil 5.
It's the greatest QT sequence in any video game ever made.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
How did they go from that to what Resident Evil 6 was?
But what about what are some examples of really bad bosses? Like we talked about some good ones in Bloodborne and Zelda, but what about some
Destiny?
bad ones? Like
Everything in Destiny.
Really bad.
so, like the Taken King bosses were vastly improved, improved because they had additional mechanics other than empty your round into the boss and that's it. But generally I agree with you. Yeah. Bosses in Destiny or Bullets, Borderlands is another one. Like they're fun, but it's the same thing for most of the bosses. You just shoot over and over. We can't have a discussion about bad bosses and not talk about Lazarevich.
I was gonna mention Uncharted, but it was gonna be Uncharted 1 with the final boss. The final boss of Uncharted 1. It's just the guy on the ship.
I just rewatched the final cutscene for that, and it's so cringy. It's unbelievable.
It was awful.
He's on a turret, and then you shoot him, and then you just run up and do like a 3-button QT, and it's over.
Navarro.
Yeah, Navarro. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Navarro. Yeah, he was bad. I thought Lazarevich was worse.
Well, yeah, he's
Lazar, because
you have to like shoot. You have to shoot the things on the wall or
you have
whatever.
to shoot the resin, and
Yeah.
he just throws grenades after you, and then he chases you in a circle.
Yeah, you just run around in circles in that stupid little arena. Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, what if he just like if I'm Lazarevich, I just turn around and go the other way, and then I run right into you. Like what? I don't. What, you're just going to chase me in an endless loop? Like what if I didn't kill you? Are we just going to run? Like
I didn't really like the boss fight with Talbot at the end of.
I like Talbot.
I didn't. I mean, it was just like all you do is it's a QT on top of like a crumbling bridge or whatever. It was okay.
Those games shouldn't have bosses.
Yeah, those games shouldn't have bosses.
For Uncharted, by Uncharted standards, Talbot wasn't bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Talbot wasn't bad. The Last of Us did it right and just didn't have a final boss.
Yeah, bad boss.
You know,
I'm sure I could think of some really bad ones.
Or BioShock 2 had a awful final boss.
Well, well, how can we not mention BioShock Infinite's Ghost Mom?
Oh yeah, that was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or the final boss in BioShock. I mean, let's take it a step further. Right?
Does that even count as a final boss?
Yeah, no, it's a final boss because he's got a health bar and he's got several stages. But yeah, he was BioShock. But the BioShock games are those games that just don't need boss fights. They don't need them. They don't fit the game.
Didn't need them.
What was that?
Didn't need them. Nope.
No, they didn't.
I agree.
Fallout. I mean, games like Fallout and Skyrim don't really have bosses. I would argue they just have named enemies that are a little more powerful than anything else. But
you know what? I hated the boss fights in Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
Oh, they were bad. They were so bad.
Those were so out of place, and it just didn't. It totally ruined the game for me. Like I was having so much fun, sneaking through stuff, and then you have like a big dude that you have to shoot the red barrels, stuff like that.
E of the Dead in chat says all Metal Gear Solid bosses are stupid. I fucking said it.
Well, I don't even like Metal Gear Solid, and I don't agree with that.
So I'm just gonna warn you, E, it's your lucky day because our chat mod Al is not here. Were he here, I would demand him to ban you so fucking hard, so hard. Crazy One in chat says I just recently beat Ornstein and Smoke. Good boss fight. That is the best boss fight. Crazy One. That is the best boss fight. Ornstein and Smoke is in my opinion, the pinnacle of boss fights. You don't get better than Ornstein and Smoke. But I want to know what Z-Huge thinks. Like Z, what is your favorite boss in any game? Say something smart-ass. Come on, I know you want it.
I don't really have one, to be honest.
Mary Kate at the end of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. I was stuck on that bitch for 3 hours.
I was expecting like a charts-related joke or something, like Excel spreadsheet.
Clippy.
Clippy, the little paper clip. Okay, so Geo raises a good point, Chad. Muso have no bosses. Z, is that true? I don't play Muso games.
Well, I mean, they don't have like boss fights, but they do have bosses, like mini bosses. So you kind of like.
Lou Boom, yeah, Lou Boom.
Even at the end of a stage, you have to kill the.
You kill the general.
Yeah, you kill the leader or general. So technically, yes, it does. But I don't know.
So like it's like Lou Boo and Cow Cow.
Yeah. So you're pronouncing it wrong, by the way, but whatever.
Dumb Americans.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well,
we were talking about Final Fantasy earlier. What about Final Fantasy bosses?
I mean, that's a given, though. I mean, those games need bosses. I mean, you can't have I mean, honestly, I don't think. Has there ever been an RPG without a boss?
No, yeah, I'm not saying should they have them. I just do you think they're good?
I mean, I think it depends on the game. I thought 13's bosses were all uniformly terrible.
Like
there's so many great boss fights in Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, like Kefka. Kefka's a great example. Like Kefka is still the best final boss in this.
Or like the Magus battle from Chrono Trigger.
That's not really a Final Fantasy game, but I get what you're saying.
No, it's not, but yeah.
Or Lavos. Actually,
well, I mean, Final Fantasy VI has like the fucking train.
The train, yeah. In no other game can you suplex a train, so I'll give it points for that. But I mean, 7 had some really good bosses.
Yeah.
8 had awful bosses. 8's bosses were just the fucking worst.
Yeah.
8 period was just
the only boss fight I remember from 8 is the zombie guy on the train.
Yeah, that's the president.
Yeah, the zombie president on the
Yeah, zombie president. Yeah.
So that's the only one I
This
remember.
sounds so stupid saying it.
It
It
is.
is stupid. It's as stupid as it sounds in the game.
It is. It's the president of like the evil country. So he's like the emperor equivalent, you know. And then he stands up and he literally, like Brandon remembers, he starts twitching,
Yeah,
like he's having a convulsion, and then he
like
turns,
a zombie guy.
and then with like no exposition whatsoever, he just turns into a giant zombie monster and you kill him. And I was
I
like,
believe
what?
I believe he's one of the bosses you can kill with a healing spell.
Yeah, you could throw a Phoenix down at him and he'll die. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? That was one of the wait, fuck that game. I hate Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm not a Final Fantasy VIII fan.
Neither am I. But so we've gone like an hour, a little over an hour now. This is usually about the time we end. We didn't start till about 10:20. But we don't like to go too far past 10:30, just because people start to get tired.
I think we pretty much hit all the topics there.
Yeah. So this is our final show before E3.
I mean, we'll be back on in like what, 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days. You guys won't go without us for long. Hopefully by then we will have our new software up and running. We almost did, but Brandon's fucking mic didn't want to work with Discord.
Sorry.
So we'll blame him for that. But we can guarantee you guys that it sounds like I mean the sound is so much fucking better with our new. I mean, it's just,
Excited for our improvements.
please, yeah. SDGC Neo, if you will.
We'll all be HD now instead of just Jeff.
Instead of just Jeff. Jeff, you're
Damn it.
yeah. He's excited. He's not excited about that.
Yeah, we're
but,
taking away from his shtick.
Do we have any final, like, really crazy E3 predictions before we sign off till Sunday? Anybody want to throw out a really crazy prediction?
My prediction
Last
is
Guardians?
What was that? What
Listen,
was it?
rap nudes.
Well, hold on. I heard nudes and then I heard Z talking. So,
I said The Last Guardian.
oh, that's not crazy. I think, dude, that's coming out in October. I guarantee it.
that's crazy for Z Huge. Like,
It is,
he's
yeah.
coming out there.
Yeah, Z's a very measured guy, so I can say that would be crazy for Z. Anybody else want to throw out a crazy prediction? I'm gonna stick with Sunset Overdrive 2 multi-platform, timed exclusive for PS4. There you go. There's my crazy prediction.
I'm sticking with Resistance. I'm hopeful for that.
No, there's no resistance, man. Come on.
I feel like Microsoft is
Microsoft's
gonna. I think Microsoft's gonna drop a bomb. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I feel like they've got.
Battletoads AAA.
There's actually a rumor floating around that Battletoads is gonna be like a God of War style game.
Is that even a good game, Battletoads? I never played.
It's terrible.
Why do?
I don't.
It's not-
It's awful. I don't understand the fucking nostalgia behind this game.
It's okay.
It's not okay. Like it's really not. Like I recommend anybody who's not played Battletoads.
Okay, well, hold on, wait. So the first level of Battletoads is really good, and then the rest of the game is kind of shit.
It's garbage. That the speederbike level is borderline.
Because the thing about Battletoads is that they go for variety, so like every level is different, which means some levels are better than others.
Brian King in chat says Jack Tretton back for the reveal of Agent.
Agent's dead.
Agent,
Sorry.
yeah. Agent's not, yeah. You really, Brian, you really need to let that one go. That's never gonna happen. I also want to give. So if we don't have any more crazy predictions, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who tuned into us to watch us tonight. We had about 40 viewers tonight, which is cool. We really appreciate all you guys, as always. We really hope you'll be back on Sunday to check out our Bethesda stream and hang out with us live and kind of talk with us and just enjoy video games with us. And then some of us will be broadcasting various events throughout the day on Monday. I know Doc and myself are going to be doing the Microsoft conference because I'm taking the day off because that's the kind of nerd I am. I take days off for video game conferences. And I don't know if anybody else is going to be joining us for that, but we will also be, of course, streaming the Sony conference at 9 Eastern Standard Time. And I think all of us are going to be here for that, or almost all of us. I know Jeff won't, but I think he's the only one. So Z, as always, dude, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. Your wisdom and your patience for our shenanigans is always greatly appreciated.
It's always great to be on.
It is always good to be on here, isn't it? It's pretty amazing.
Sure.
It's pretty amazing. And does anybody have anything else that they want to throw out to the crowd?
I thought of another prediction.
Let's hear it. I want it.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 remaster for next-gen consoles. Boom.
EA doesn't do that.
Yeah, they don't do that. I've been dying for a Dead Space remaster for years, and they just haven't gotten it. I don't think you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see that.
Jade Empire Remastered. That's what you'll get.
I've never played Jade Empire.
Neither have I.
Never played it.
Good.
A new SSX game would be cool.
You're not missing anything.
I would love. Okay, so here's the thing. I'd love a new SXX game, but I think like the last one sold so poorly, I don't think that's going to happen.
It just came out on Xbox One. Backwards.
Did it for backwards compat?
At least I think it did. Yeah.
I love SSX.
Oh, so do I. Yeah, I'm a huge SSX guy.
I love Tony Hawk. I love SSX. Yeah, both of those were.
Yeah, I used to love Tony Hawk.
I think the new one came out.
I heard about it.
Yeah, it sure did.
5?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end it here.
Pour one out for the Tony. For the Birdman himself.
So an abridged episode tonight, but still over an hour. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us, and hey, we were 20 minutes late, and we still had a high 40 viewers. So we really, really appreciate that, guys. And as always, it's not always poetry, and you guys know we don't always agree, but we always keep it real. God, I'm tired. Fuck, tired as shit. Anyway, I promise you next week. That's
the problem with moving these things up an hour.
I know, man. Fucking hashtag let Jeff host. Maybe it'll happen next week. I'll tell you what. How about this? And we'll end with this. If I get 75 people to tweet out hashtag let Jeff host, Jeff is going to host next week. He's going to introduce and he's going to close.
And my name is Jeff.
And he's going to guide the conversation next week. So hashtag let Jeff host on Twitter. If I get 75, or
why did you pick such a high number?
Jeff, okay, fine. No, you're right.
He doesn't want you to host.
50.
All right, I can pay that many people. That's
50.
Cool.
If Jeff tweets out hashtag let Jeff host, and he gets 50 retweets, I will let Jeff host next week. You heard it here first. So let's make it happen. Good luck, Jeff.
Thank you.
Good luck. We'll see you guys on Sunday.
See ya.
Holy shit, you